Alright guys, we have the Demon. We've been flying these for years. I didn't bring it out in the FPV market last year just because I didn't know if it was a market that was ready for them yet. They're a very fast airplane, very well rounded though, so I decided to go ahead and bring out the Hardcore series. Hardcore is an absolutely awesome aircraft, but the next step above and beyond that, now that we got 1 year in on the Hardcore series, I decided to go ahead and bring back the Demon. It's a custom airfoil that I built for years from some of the fast pylon racing and some of the other stuff we did. So I have it in the 32-inch here, which is a perfect small size for like 22 size motors as far as outrunners. I talked to Susan a few months back and I had her make me some custom motors, and that's Susan from Cobra. And basically the new motors are kind of a new thought. What I was doing when I was talking to her was looking at some of the things they had issues with on the 2217 when they made it 2500 kV. The motor itself was still fairly kind of small, so I asked her if we can take the 2221 and run the kV up on it and do a couple custom kVs for me. So basically we have a 2221, which is longer than the 2217, and now we're having the capability of running it in a very, very slick airfoil. So now what we did is we had the 2221 made in 2400 kV, so you're talking 5.5 prop, 5.545 prop on 4S, possibly 5S, and with the BL Heli speed control, now you can commutate fast enough. And that was the issue with the Outrunners, for years now, is they can't commutate over 200 cycles. I mean 200,000 cycles. So now we're able to do it. So basically, a 4S motor, 2400 kV on the 2221. That's going to be insane. So, and then I'm thinking, hey, let's give it the capability of doing 6S. So I had her make me a 2221 again, the longer 22 size motor in 2000 kV. So now you're talking a couple, maybe, a couple 3S 2600s, a couple 3S 3300s. Series them in the plane for 6S 3300. We made plenty of room in the aircraft for that. The bays are large enough, and we're using the smaller 22 size motor mount. This plane does have the capability of running an in-runner motor mount on the 32 Demon, so we're looking to either run a 28 size millimeter outrunner or a 22 size millimeter in-runner, anywhere from 2000 to 2400 kV. So we'll be giving Susan some results on these motors, and I think she's also talking about making these motors available in the larger size in the CP series too. So that might be something that will be coming. But these motors, the smaller motors, will be tested in the Demon in the 2221 in 2400 kV and in 2000 kV. So the Demon is the perfect platform for this. And then we have the big Demon. It's 40 inches. We've made it in a long cord version over the years when we've put like 4,000 watts in them, and then we've made them in the shorter 1800 watt to 2000 watt, or even less, maybe even 12 or 1500 watt series plane, which we call the Demon Light. What I did is I took that platform and we made it in a series right between the long cord and the short cord Demon, which is going to be very good for this market because it's still going to be agile. I did this after talking to Susan, and she said she'd make me a few custom motors for this plane. So I had her make the 2214. I know she's making them in 1800 kV, so I did get one of those from her. But she's making the 2214 for us specifically, and I think you've probably seen Hugo run them because Hugo's been running them some of the in the Hardcore series. So, but the custom kV I had her make it in is 2350. So you're talking 4S, possibly 5S on a 6.4 Sport in this motor. On the BL Heli, it's going to be able to just absolutely rip, especially with the sport prop on it. And then I had her go through 6S type motor for the same plane. So we have a 2214 2000 kV. So 2214 CP 2000 kV in this aircraft. We're talking 6S motor. So on the Demon, we're going to be able to have an in-runner capability, but we have an outrunner capability. So instead of having to run a super crazy $150 or $120 in-runner, we're able to run a motor at half the cost and it will commutate fast enough with the Cobra motor now. So we'll be giving Susan some results on that and possibly adjusting some of the KVs. But from some of the KVs I found over the years with what really works in these planes, the KVs with the Outrunner having the larger rotor should work really, really well. So here's a good close look at the Demon. You can see it's going to be running the regular hardcore motor mount. It also runs in the Mini Demon, so you can end up clipping the back legs off here and making it short enough to fit the 2214. You know, in here, this way, modify the mount however you want. The inside of the aircraft is going to have a bulkhead. You're going to end up having fiber strip over it. They're basically same as the Hardcore Series build. The bottom of the lid is also going to have the black coroplast, and we're also going to be supplying a net mesh screen that goes over this that will be put down with 3M90, and we'll go over that build process. So ABS fins, it's end up having some really nice control surface stock on here when we get it done. All of your stuff is tooled out and done. And on the bigger Demon, we actually will have holes tooled in here. So what we do is we take the leftover fiberglass strips that are cut off the ends of the wings, the longer ones, you're going to slide those in there and you're going to put them in with the Gorilla Glue, and we're going to impregnate that with Gorilla Glue. So basically you're going to have fiberglass strips in the middle, you're going to have fiberglass strips on the top, and once these are lightly bundled and stuck down in there, the strength they give is absolutely insane. We've been doing it on some of the Z2s yeah, that we've been building, and we've just been dropping our scrap rod down inside after we bored out that hole, they drilled the hole out and put it in there, and we cannot believe how insane they are. So after having really good progress from doing that type of process, we're going to go ahead and do that on this aircraft. I mean, it really doesn't even need the internal, but we're going to do that. And what we've also done is where we're drilling the hole in there, the motor mount itself is going to be able to be mounted just below that hole. So when you cut the motor mount in, you're going to kind of just below the hole in there. So that's the Demons. They're coming out. I think I got 4 or 5 available on the big ones, and the small ones will. I think we got like 8 or 10 of those on the small ones. So we'll be making more and more. I'm sending a couple out to some friends that are going to document the build. So we're gonna end up doing this one, you know, the right way and getting the information out there, because it's going to be a little bit more entailed build than the Hardcore Series. But you know, someone sent me a message a little while ago saying, what's the difference of the Hardcore compared to the Demon? And I told them that the Demon would pretty much give the Hardcore a black eye and take its lunch. So here it comes. And you can see the space that's available in there. You're going to be able to drop a couple big 3S packs in there. Tons of space. You can drop 2 3S 4000s in there. There's multiple different types of packs. This one's a little bit smaller, so you're going to be able to drop like 2 3S 3300s, 2 4S 2650s, something along those lines. So you can go 4S. You can end up dropping 2 big 3S packs in there and go 6S. You know, we're going to have the nose pieces that you can cut in here. Just like we're doing for the rest of the, rest of the other aircraft, which are basically, the 3D printed nose pieces. So these will be able to be cut in there. You'll be able to run the run cam on top. I don't know if we're going to be making them side by side yet as far as the run cam and some of the other nose pieces, just because they're so small. And then we're going to also have a custom skid for this, not for bungee launch, just for landing. So you can see we've done ABS fins. Super low profile, super long. Got enough fin on here to break the airflow going over to stall the tips. It's an absolute insane design. It's not anything new. It's been made in so many different fashions over the years. These sizes and this percentage of thickness was always a sweet spot. So